This is MK Snap, where we all belong. Pull up a chair, bring your story, your song. We rise, we learn, yeah, before we get through. Side by side with the dragon named Blue. This is MK Snap, every voice, every view. Different paths, but they all pass through. We share, we care, and we say it stays true. Hand in hand with the dragon named Blue.
Welcome back to the SNAPcast, the best podcast, in my opinion, on YouTube. We've got a special guest. We've got Freddie. How are you, Freddie?
Yes, hello Jack. Lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you as well. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do? Who you are and what you do?
Who I am and what I do. Yes, of course. So I am Freddie Guilmard. I am actually the founder of the Red Thread Partnership, which is a boutique consultancy where we help leaders deal with a big issue by building what I call human organization. I mean, in fact, what I do is I help leaders simplify their biggest challenge, by building more human, high-performing businesses.
Yeah.
That's what we really do.
Let's get one for football managers, I think.
Yeah.
You should make one for football managers. Some of them need a bit of leadership.
Well, I think football certainly needs a change, and a big change around culture, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Unlike rugby, which is
Rugby, I mean, I think rugby, the crowd's so much better than football.
Yeah.
It's so much more respectful. And one of my good friends from work, he's a big rugby fan. And he tells me I should watch. I do watch rugby. I just like the way you can hear the ref at all times and hear what's happening.
Yeah, and also most importantly, I think, is a respect. You don't call ref, you call them sir.
Yeah.
And it's quite interesting. And you've got people bashing each other for 80 minutes, and at the end of it, they're all hugging each other.
Yeah, calling each other sir.
They're big guys. I love the value of rugby, and this is why I'm more inclined to watch rugby, and it's a great sport as well.
And who's your favourite rugby team?
I mean, come on, it's got to be Northampton Saints, surely. I mean, what a team.
I've heard they're good. I would like to go watch them play on.
Well, I have a season tickets at the club, so maybe, Jack, you can come with me one day. I'd love to invite you so we can watch a game together. How about that?
I would truly enjoy that. Because I've always, obviously I've known about rugby. I played it as a try to avoid it in school. Yeah. People in my class were like either 6 foot or they were massive compared to me when I was that age. So I used to avoid rugby. But no, I do like the sort of respect everyone has, because sometimes in football you can feel like the players are in charge sometimes over the ref. So I understand the respect levels in rugby, and I think they're really good.
Good. Well, come and watch a game with me at some point, will you?
I'll hold you to that. I'll get that in writing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Steve will hold me accountable for that.
Yeah. So you talk a lot about building high performing and human organisations. What does that mean to you?
I mean, I think, when I talk about high performance, I think what we've done, unfortunately, is we've created what I call a false choice in business, that you either have to focus on performance or focus on people. And in reality, the best organization do both, which is really important. So high performance for me comes from clarity, come from setting standards, but also accountability. But if we only stick with, if we only stick with performance, we're missing the humanity side of it, and I don't think that's good enough. So not enough organizations spend time, building trust, being the opportunity for people to really come together and have the best conversations. Yeah. So when I work with organizations who are interested in high performance, the first thing I do is have a conversation first of all by saying, what does high performance mean to you as a business? What does it mean for your people? Because actually high performance is very hard to achieve.
Yeah.
You can quantify it in sport. You can say I've achieved high performance. Look, I don't know if you're into golf. I watched the golf this weekend.
Yeah, I don't.
Did you watch the Masters? So McIlroy?
I watched the boxing.
Yeah.
Boxing and football, my top two favourites. But a lot of people love golf.
Yeah. I mean, golf, it was interesting. So you can quantify high performance in sports a lot more than you can in business.
Is that by looking at all your trophies and medals you won?
Yeah, because success in sport, you can say, well, McIlroy won the Masters, he's got a trophy, he was the first, that's high performance. Yeah. I think probably the highest performing sport, where you can have some analogy to what happened in sport to what happened in business, is Formula One, for example. Yeah. Because Formula One relies on data, relies on having a clear vision about what success looks like.
Yeah.
There's so many people involved in the success of maybe probably just 2 drivers.
Yeah.
So although the drivers deliver, the performance behind it would not happen if you had real teamwork, where you really had a great communication, especially when the race is taking place.
There's no I in team at all.
There's no I in team.
There's no I in team. It's all about good teamwork and it's all about team. I mean, Snap's all done by the trustees. It's all by Steve and the staff we got here. It's all done in teamwork. I mean, it might take a few meetings, but it still gets it done. And Snap's a good example for teamwork because they all work together for a good cause.
Yes, and that's really good to hear. And I've known Snap for many years now.
Yeah.
My organisation has supported Snap for many years through our fellowship program. And from day one of the things we found with Snap is the openness of the teams and the willingness to grow, the willingness to look at the outside world, to bring us in and say, how can you support us? How can we actually help each other? So, I'm a fan, I have to say, of Snap and the
let's
team.
get you a Snap T-shirt like one of these. I mean, a Snap T-shirt for you and your son.
Yeah, absolutely. My sons, absolutely. And look, my business partner and I run the London Marathon for Snap, which I have to say, I'm still counting the bruises.
Well, I respect you for that. Running the London Marathon is such a good cause that I'm a part of. So I want to say thank you on behalf of me and the other learners and the staff
for
running that marathon. It probably did a lot for us. And,
I think I think I was nearly £4,000.
Wow.
And even came here and we had a bit of a celebration. It was amazing.
That's
and I also was I think I was the guest speaker at some of the awards as well. That Snap runs, the ball.
I've been to the garden.
I think I was. I've heard some reason they asked me to come and facilitate the whole conversation, which I absolutely loved.
No pressure then.
I've not been invited back, Jack, so I must have done a pretty bad job.
I think you will be invited back. I've been going on to Steve about doing the Snap Awards for learners and staff. We've done it before with staff and learners together.
Yeah.
I'll definitely invite to the next one, definitely.
Lovely, thank you. And you can come to the rugby. So there you are. It's a win-win situation, isn't it?
Exactly that. I mean, the last awards thing we did, I was like Ant and Dec. I think I was a bit of both instead of just one of them because I'm much cooler than both of them.
Yes. I'm sure you were fabulous.
Why are change, resilience, and leadership such an important topics in today's world?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think change, resilience, and I mean it's been the importance of change and resilience has been around for a long time, pre-COVID. When COVID happened, I think it made a lot of people reflect about what was going on in the world and some of the beliefs they had, some of the thought they had about how things work, when suddenly overnight everybody was sent home. So we never thought this could be happening. So resilience and change, leadership are critical to navigate what I call a complex world today. Even so today, where we've got AI and technology.
AI is really scary.
It is scary, but at the same time, I think it also provides lots of hope for humanity. If we choose to do so. So the reality about all of this, I think there are some very serious consequences on each side. Which something, and this is where for me leadership comes into play. So what we have to do is we have to harness the power of humanity in leadership to help navigate the complexity of what AI can do. And if we do that, we can become hugely resilient to the future and actually create a better future for us all. I mean, AI fundamentally helped us solve the COVID problem by creating a vaccine that, in a year, which normally would have taken 10 years. So it was truly transformational. At the same time, look at what AI is doing today when it's really transforming our ability to be much more productive, but at the same time taking away a lot of the jobs. So without leadership, without humanity, then we can be left in a dangerous vacuum if we don't take care of each other. And I think that's really important. So this is where resilience comes in. We build resilience by having a conversation, understanding what's going to be difficult, preparing ourselves, equipping ourselves for the future.
Yeah.
So it is important that we continue to have those conversations.
Yeah, no, definitely, I agree that. Change can feel scary. Why do people often struggle with it?
I mean, change, we often see change as something bad.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. So we think change is going to be less, is going to be difficult, is going to be, we're going to lose things. So it's seen often as a losing thing,
negative,
as a loss, as negative. Where actually often change is something that creates more opportunities. So I guess it feels scary because it's the unknown. Often it is the unknown.
Yeah.
And because our mindset says it's going to be negative, then we start to fear change.
Negative, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Whereas when you've been through a lot of change, like me, for example, what you start to appreciate is actually change can feel scary, and that's okay too, but how to manage your emotions around change.
Yeah.
Which means that I can see the good in change. So whenever change happens in my life, I always firstly try not to react to it quickly, because that's something which is important. And the other thing is I try to put myself into the positive element of it, and say, okay, what can I control within that change? What's within my gift? And actually, what do I need to let go that I cannot change?
Yeah.
And this is actually quite a releasing mindset, if you see what I mean. Yeah.
I quite enjoy change myself.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people with special needs or autism do.
No.
But I love change. I don't know why I just love it. I think either I find people really boring really quick, not finding you boring at all, but other people in the world I find really boring. I just want to change even the TV channel, change what I'm doing personally.
Yeah, but I think you're somebody who's gone through change yourself, Jan. And if I look at the young man who's in front of me today, clearly you've learned and you've grown through change.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I got asked to change anything about my stroke. I said I wouldn't change anything because maybe the person that's helped me meet the people I've met today.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't change anything.
No, of course.
So I just love life really. Snap's a great place. Steve's doing an incredible job. His head get bigger because he won't fit through that door.
No, of course, but we won't tell him because he's not around. So we'll keep that between ourselves. Yeah. Definitely.
Can you share a time when you had to go through a big change in your life or a career?
Gosh. Okay, so I hope you're sitting well here, because my experience of change has been quite dramatic over the years. So I'll set the scene for you. I am 10 years old.
Yeah.
I live in what's described as a paradise island, one of the biggest islands in the world, but probably one of the poorest. Yeah. I have a lovely life. My parents are doing really well. We have a house by the coast. We have a house in it's lovely. And then one day in the middle of the night, my father wakes me up quickly. He said, quick, get dressed. And I've got two younger brothers than me. And it's dark and it's scary. And the next thing I know, we are hiding ourselves at the back of the car. My dad is driving fast through the streets. And we end up at the airport. And at the airport, we are staying there for 4 days, waiting to be repatriated. Yeah. My home is Madagascar. I was born in Madagascar.
Wow.
And overnight, at the age of 10,
it changed.
I lose everything.
Wow, that's quite scary.
I lose my home, I lose my friends, I lose my identity, everything. Yeah. And I arrive in France, in the outskirts of Paris, where my parents had to rebuild their lives. Yeah. And for the best part of 8 years, I'm a bit lost. I'm lost at school. I'm a bit bullied at school because I'm very naive. Yeah. And at the age of 17, I'm actually away from home doing a course because really I'm not doing well at school. And I have my first panic attack. Oh, wow. And I'm 17 years old. And for the next 17 years, every single day, I have panic attacks for 17 years.
Wow. Well, to even talk about that, that's quite inspirational, because not many people talk about their problems, especially men nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, it took me a while to talk about some of my issues that I face today.
Of course.
But from facing them problems and coming out, I don't know about you, it's made it easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean,
I'll give you a handshake for that, for even speaking about that, because that's honestly, that means a lot to all the listeners and me, just to find out a bit more about you. And so a lot of people I get interviewed will come. I'm not saying I've had the experience, but come in and not tell me anything about that. But a real respect to you.
But at the end of the day, you know, these things shapes who we become and what we are. I mean, you know, when you talk about facing, you know, we all have our stories. I can give you some more if you're interested. But you know, my son had to have major heart surgery when he was 5 years old.
Wow.
He was detected with a slight heart murmur. You know, what can I control? How can I deal with that? That was a massive change. My wife, unfortunately, was diagnosed with stage 2 cancer when she was in the early 40s. You know, so during the recession in the late 80s, early 90s, I lost my job, and I was doing a great job. Luckily for me, I found a job straight away, but I had to take a several £1,000 drop in salary. I'd only just bought my house. My son, my eldest, had only just been born. You know, we all have lots and lots of things that we have to face in a lifetime, and I think you know, it's how. One of the things I found is your mindset is everything. It's literally everything, but it's not easy. But it is something that you can teach yourself. And you know, you had to face a life-changing event, and here you are today, and you've said yourself, better for it, having grown, and also being very grateful and thankful, you know, in some ways. You know, I am actually, believe it or not, a much better and kinder person today than I was in that time because of all of those things that have happened.
Because for me, it's helped me grow up. I don't know if that's the same for you, but it helped me grow up and see things very differently. Like, probably in school I was a little menace. I mean, I was taught by someone's sister who works in. I mean, ask her. I mean, I was a bit of a menace. I'm not gonna say who it was, but I was a bit of a menace. But even coming here, like I've had my. Everyone has their moments, but I've improved, I think.
Yes, and that's isn't that the greatest gift? Because actually, if you can turn adversity into something that actually can help you become a better person, but as a result of that, also help others who go through similar things. Isn't that the greatest gift ever? Yeah,
I agree. Definitely is the best gift ever that I've been given anyway.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people say, "Oh, how do you deal with it?" I have to deal with nothing. Because in a way, it's helped me. It's given me the eye opener. So a lot of people didn't think I had autism. They just thought I was a troubled kid. But it's made their eyes open to support me in other ways, and it's helped me. So I wouldn't be still alive today if I didn't have the good people around me.
Yeah, and it's a credit to the people around you, but it's a credit for yourself as well. You must take some credit from that, for being strong and also for, you know, opening up and whatever it is that you did. I mean, I once met a guy who tried to kill himself, and he threw himself in front of the train and he lost both his legs. You would see that person today and they would tell you they are happier now than they've ever been. Now, of course, I don't suggest that anybody should throw themselves you know, off a train, because that sometimes, you know, has more dire consequences. But the reality is sometimes things happen to us for a reason. And I'm a great believer of the power of the universe. That, you know, we all have a destiny, but that's perhaps for another podcast.
No, that's 1,000%.
For sure.
Would you explain how would you explain resilience in a simple way?
I mean, you know, I was thinking about that question, and the only thing I could come up with is something like, you know, our ability to allow ourselves to manage our emotions and our mindset to move forward with a positive outlook. That's what I would talk about. In a simple way, that's what I would say, Jack.
Yeah, because I hate the word negative. Because there's nothing negative about life. I mean, don't get me wrong, some people have had it hard. You've had it hard, but look at you now. You've gone through it all. I mean, you're an inspiration. I've been knowing you 10 minutes, and I feel like you're a great person already.
Well, thank you.
And I don't think like that. I don't think like that for everyone.
Well, thank you, Jack. That's very kind of you.
So what's the difference between coping and truly being resilient?
Yeah, so coping or resilience. I mean, can I talk a little bit about resilience?
Yeah.
Do you mind if I do that?
Because honestly, I want to know more.
Yeah, so more people will think that actually resilience comes from a place where what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, you know?
Yeah.
Have you heard this phrase?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, actually resilience is much more complex than that. I think there is an element of that, of course. When you go through trauma and you can go through it, you are learning, you know, through that process. Even when it's really difficult, you are learning, and often you're being prepared for the future. You're being given new skills, either to go on and help other people. But actually, a few years ago, I was lucky enough to do some work with Ashridge business schools, and there was a particular session that they run where they'd done some research about resilience, and that always stuck with me. And what came out of that research was several things. One is resilience also comes from not just the learning that we have through trauma, but also things like our eating habits. If you eat a healthy diet and if you eat well, actually I don't think we realize how much good food is good for our body, but also for our brain. And so we often think about food, but we don't think about the quality of food. So that's really important. What they found is good quality food is important. The second thing they found is exercising. Exercising for our physical health and our mental health is extraordinarily important for our ability to make ourselves resilient. Because if we feel fitter, when things become difficult, we will be fitter ultimately. Sleep. Now, many of us talk about sleep. You know, sleep can be, up and down for lots of different people.
Definitely.
I never needed more than 6 hours sleep, and I think that came from probably the fact that for many years when I had my panic attacks, I couldn't really sleep, because I was anxious all the time. But these days, as I'm getting older, Jack, I'm enjoying going to bed early with a good book. And sounds a bit sad, but I'm enjoying my bed more than I've ever done before. Sleep is important. But here's the thing, two things, right? Firstly, your friends and your network of trusted friends. The one where, imagine you're having a bad day and you phone one of your mates and say, can we have a beer? And you go for a beer. And you can open it to them and you can say, guess what? I've just had such a bad week. Can I talk to you about it? And you can talk to someone and they're not going to judge you. They're just going to love you. They're going to be there. They're going to listen to you, and they're going to give you the strength and the kindness that you need at that time. That is so important. But also the opportunity to have that at work. A trusted network where you can go to someone, knock on their door and say, have you heard what's happening? Can I talk to you about it? Because I feel really angry, or I feel really upset about it, and having that in our lives, nurturing our network of people, spending time building really important relationship is so critical in building resilience. Because actually, if I'm honest, do you want to cope or do you want to thrive? Because I know which one I would prefer.
Yeah, same. I think people don't realise how lucky they are when they have someone to talk to and someone who loves them and doesn't judge them at all. I mean, that's probably the worst fear I have, is someone judging me for what I may look like or what I've done. But even at Snap, that's a good example. No one judges at Snap. Everyone's there for each other and support.
And you're very lucky to find that environment, Jack, because I think it's still, unfortunately, fortunately it's getting better in business. But unfortunately, one of my ambitions, if I'm honest with you, in the future, I would love every single contract of employment, the moment you become a manager, there is a line on your contract that says, as a manager, your first responsibility is to your people. So as a result of that, what we're going to do is we're going to give you an allocation of fund where you can have coffee with whoever you want every month just to chat to them. No agenda, go and build amazing relationship. Because the moment you do that, your business
powerful
becomes...
things can happen.
Absolutely. You build trust, and you build relationship.
Yeah, I think I might tell my boss that, because I don't mind free coffee.
I think you should, and I think the coffee, let's be honest with you, the coffee at Snap, I mean, I'd recommend anyone to come to the coffee shop and just spend some time here and spend a bit of money helping, people.
And charity,
Absolutely, and
the
help
coffee
the charity.
shop's open 9:30 and to 12 on a Tuesday and Thursday morning. Be there, be square.
And I highly recommend it, even if this coffee was made by Stephen, so it's...
I think Steve makes the best coffee, so Clara said that.
Does he?
I think he's up there, yeah.
Don't tell him that, his head's got to get even bigger.
Is it okay to struggle sometimes?
Of course it is. It's part of life. Of course it is. One of the things that happen with struggles is recognizing that it's okay to feel rubbish.
Yeah.
And as you get older, a bit like me, one of the things I realize is over time, when you are, you're having a day where you're not feeling great, you got to be kind to yourself, and you go, do you know what? I'm not feeling great today, and that's okay, because sometimes that's how my emotions, will go.
Yeah.
Sadly, we lost, my mother-in-law just passed away.
I'm sorry to hear that.
The weekend, yeah, and she was an older lady. She had dementia. It was tough, but it's okay to feel sad,
well,
and it's okay to feel rubbish.
Just from this conversation, I think she's up there smiling down at
she will be. And do you know
Definitely.
what? Do you know what, Jack? This might make you laugh, but actually, I wanted to remember great things, and what not many people know is my mother-in-law and I. This will mean nothing to you, but in 1991 we were on a famous TV show called The Generation Game.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
No, never
but
heard of it.
it's a Generation Game was a very, very popular show with a gentleman called Bruce Forsyth, and it was a Christmas show. And Glenda and I were on the show, and we won it.
Oh, wow.
And I have a brilliant picture of her and me and Bruce and Rosemary Ford, and it was a Christmas, and it was just amazing.
There are a couple of old staff here, so I'll ask them and see if they know.
Yeah.
So what year? How many years ago was that?
So 1991. Well, I don't know. 1991, so a few years back.
Yeah.
And actually, if you go on YouTube and you put 1991 Christmas show Generation Game, you will see.
Christmas show Generation. Okay.
You will see it.
Generation. Okay. I'll never look for now. I think I'll look forward to that. Yeah. What does a high-performing team really look like?
So, I mean, I'm going to be slightly controversial.
Yeah.
So, high performance depends on several things for me.
Yeah.
Okay. And bearing in mind that in my time I've built award-winning teams. I'm going to call them award-winning teams.
Yeah.
But one of the things I found is context. So context is everything.
Yeah.
So take for example MK Snap. Okay. And MK Snap has a leadership team, it has a management team, it has you, it has the learners, it has that.
Trustees,
okay? Yeah, it has trustees. And all these people basically make what Snap is today.
Yeah.
Now imagine that I removed all of you and put a new bunch of people.
It wouldn't be the same.
Well, it won't be the same. Exactly my point. So if I said to Stephen, for example, okay, Stephen, what does high performance role mean for you in the next 12 months? He's going to give me an answer. If I remove him and I put somewhere else, they might give me a completely different answer.
Yeah.
So high performance, really, what does it look like? Well, it looks like anything that that leadership team commits to do it, and their determination to achieve to that commitment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So therefore, in terms of what it is, for some people it will be, let's get as much money as we can for the charity so we become sustainable for the next 20 years. For someone it might be, actually I want the learner's happiness before anything else, and I want to achieve a better balance. Yeah? So it depends. But also from an individual point of view, and you've inspired me, Jack. So because it's lovely to meet you, and it's lovely to hear your story. But if you're a less able person, but every day you show up, and every day you achieve something that makes you feel better, makes a difference to someone else's life, or helps you stay alive because you can feed your family, to that individual every single day, that's high performance for me.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, I haven't got a family yet, but I would love to be the one to bring, even my wife, I would love to find a good family. I would think I will one day.
Yes, I'm sure you will, Jack, because there's no reason why you shouldn't and why you couldn't.
Yeah, no, I do aspire to be a man like that, and someone who has the same morals I have now to help Snap become more bigger. I want Snap to be on, I want to have a billboard. I want to be at the Dons every weekend, advertising Snap around the boards.
And what about, Jack, what about if you got Stephen's job one day? Hey.
Oh, that would be tough on the paperwork. I'd love to challenge Steve one day. I think that'd be awesome.
And there you are.
I just don't know what we could do with all the paperwork.
Well, you.
I've got a team behind me to help.
You see, you got the answer. Perfect. That is exactly right. Because it's not about you, isn't it? It's about the quality and the strength of the team you can build around it.
I've got the personality for it. Maybe we need to work on a bit more patience.
Yeah.
But no, I think I can do it.
That's because you're young.
But I still have Stevie. Wouldn't be able to leave.
Yeah.
He'll be like right-hand man.
Yes. Yeah. We'll need him to make the coffee anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
But no, yeah, I would love to work here one day and be some sort of management, or even like someone who donates money to Snap, because I love Snap and I think it's changed my life. I know it sounds a bit cringy.
No, it doesn't at all.
It's changed my life. It's made me the person I am today, and it's given me that sort of that life.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
To get things done, it's helped me get a work placement. It's helped me get a job.
Come and do the things you love. Have a purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think it's amazing.
Have a party when MK Dons get promoted.
Yeah.
I mean, what more could you want?
And Jack, I've just realised something. You've got a bit of Madagascar on you as well, haven't you?
Oh, the line, yeah.
I like to move it. I like to move that Pumbaa, isn't it? It's from Madagascar.
Pumbaa from Lion King. And I've got a line from our Snap clothing shop. We've got some Snap clothes online.
Yeah, very nice, yeah.
Follow our Facebook, Instagram pages.
Yeah. I have actually bought some of the art, on the
art's good, yeah.
I've got 3 pieces of art from Snap in my office at home, so yeah, very good.
It's a shame, because if nowadays the artist that probably done it would be in here.
Yeah.
He's incredible. There's so many people incredible at art here. There's so many people who do good paintings.
I agree with that.
Yeah, so I mean, I tried. I just didn't concede. You can't be good at everything.
You can't be good.
You can't be a master of all trades, or you couldn't know what is it. You can't be a jack of all trades and a master of none.
That's it. That's it.
That's me, jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah. So, what should people do when things go wrong, or conflict happens?
Well, I mean, what should people do when things go wrong? Well, I think the first thing, don't panic. That's the first thing. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the level of when things go wrong. I think sometimes it's about creating time to think.
Yeah.
The worst thing that you can do is react when things go wrong, because we often react on emotions rather than actually think rationally about things.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing is always to think that we're not alone. Okay, when things really go wrong, there's always going to be someone around that either has gone through something similar, or have had experience of someone going through similar, who can be a lot more wise about helping us through some of that change, some of that changes that is happening.
Yeah.
And that comes from, a little bit of maturity. I mean, sometimes when things goes wrong, you have to act quickly, for sure. That's something that you have to do. But the first thing I would say is give yourself time. Always give yourself time, if you can, and then talk to people. One of the things I found is a few years ago, when I lost my job, I'd bought my house, there was a lot of things going on. And what happened is actually I went into my car one day and I started to cry. And I was wondering what the hell's going on with me. And I think because I was still going through panic attacks and everything. But I started to cry. Now actually what I realised is I got something happened. Something went wrong. I started to suffer with a mini depression. Yeah. And I was like, I'm a happy-go-lucky. Yes, I have panic attack, but I'm a very positive person. Why is this happening to me? And because of the panic attack, and I started to open up a lot more about that, what I found is actually I didn't shy away. Yeah. So the first thing I would say is give yourself time and talk to people. And it was fascinating, Jack. You know, I phoned my best man, who's also one of my best friends,
Yeah.
and I said, Ian, I think I'm depressed. And he said, well, what's going on? I explained, and he looked at me and he went, oh yeah, I had that a few years ago. You're going to be okay. You're going to be absolutely fine.
Yeah.
And actually, the more confidence he gave me, and the more open I became, and as a result of that, literally within 6 months, I was no longer depressed.
No, that's
But
great.
boy, was it scary. It
Yeah.
was really so terrifying at the time, because it almost felt like somebody had put a mask on my face,
Yeah.
and I felt sad
Yeah.
overnight. It was incredibly scary, but I talked about it.
That's
And
the
I
main-
shared my story,
That's
because
what-
sometimes you don't want to burden other people.
No.
You know, but I didn't wear a t-shirt to say, hey, I'm depressed, talk to me. You know, it wasn't
Yeah.
like that. But I found that talking extraordinarily helpful.
It's very powerful.
Very, very powerful.
That's where we lack in England, where in education, whatever it is, no one to talk to sometimes. I think there's a big misunderstanding somehow that people, young children or young adults get judged a certain way because the way what might be going on is not seen through obviously them not saying it to anyone. So I think that's where we go wrong in this country.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a Britishness around it. I have to say I've noticed that in business for sure. But I think it's getting better.
Yeah,
I think
it is getting better.
you talk about my sons. So I've got two sons, two boys, and they're older now. I mean, they're 35 and 30. But actually, Sam came back this weekend. He'd spent a day with 3 of his mates. They went walking to the Peak District.
Oh, nice.
And he came back and I said, how was it, Sam? He said, do you know what's great, Dad? I've known this guy since school and we trust each other so much. We can talk about anything.
Anything, yeah.
And it was so good because Sam is, facing some changes in his life at the moment.
Yeah.
He's having to make different decisions. It's difficult for him, but I'm so pleased that he has a network of peers that he can open up to, and that makes a big difference to his life.
Yeah, that is a big difference. I have people I can speak to, even at Snap or outside of Snap.
Yes.
I mean, I used to panic when Snap wasn't open.
Yes, I can see that.
Like, even on the weekend, I was just lost with life. But luckily, I have the right support now.
Yeah.
Out at Snap, I can talk to. I used to panic because there was no Snap.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was up to me, I'd have Snap 7 days a week.
Yeah. But it shows, Jack, it shows that you're in the right place, it shows that you are flourishing and you're clearly very good at this stuff. So, go continue.
No, yeah, I mean, if it was up to me, Snap would be open every day. There would be no days off.
Well, I don't know, maybe Stephen is a caretaker.
My first panic was, when I joined Snap, was what we're going to do in the weekend.
Yeah. Of course.
And what we're going to do bank holidays, but now I've got that right support. I do stuff.
Good.
But I miss Snap. I still miss that. To everyone, I miss it.
Yes, of course.
I mean, everyone looks forward to Friday. I hate Fridays.
Yes.
Not I hate Friday. I love Fridays. I'm here, but just having to leave Snap after is annoying.
Yeah.
Because I want to be with my friends and it's such a positive place here.
Yeah, and I think maybe for you as you continue to grow what you do. Maybe one of the things you need to think about is how can your positivity and the strengths you found within the charity can help you outside to help others at the weekend. Yeah, so you take that energy with you and you take it to, say, football, for example. When you talk about Snap, when you talk about, how the charities change your life and how you can maybe impact others out there who are less fortunate, I mean, I
would like to make it more out there what Snap's done for me, etc. I would like to make Snap, because Snap, I didn't know about Snap. Not many people do know about Snap unless they go to maybe a college or they go to a special needs school.
Of course.
I never knew about Snap. I wish I could go around the Milton Keynes with Steve and with the management and talk about Snap to different types of people.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
But one of the things I love about what you said earlier is you call yourself an ambassador. That's just a great thing, an ambassador for the charity.
Still waiting for my badge, but I ain't come yet.
Cool. Well, look, I mean, I've got a few followers, so what I'll do is, if this is any good, I'll put it on LinkedIn and hopefully we can get some followers.
Definitely,
that would be great.
Definitely. Can setbacks actually make people and intervals stronger. I know we touched a little bit on it, and I agree it does.
It does, doesn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
I think you and I are example of
We're
how.
on the same page, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, setback can absolutely. And one of the things I talk about, Jack, is we are our stories.
Yeah.
So whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, guess right. You're right. Yeah, that's that's the truth. And one of the things that I've been working on, and I work with people around, is saying, if you don't like the story that is attached to you, you can work to change that.
Yeah.
Definitely. So that means that absolutely, if you choose to see setback and you start to behave like a victim, you will therefore be a victim.
Yeah.
If you look at setback and you say, this is outside my control, I have a choice. All of us have a choice on how we react to things. Yeah. And if we choose positive mental attitude and we choose to find strength through change and adversity, oh boy, we can become so much stronger.
Yeah, definitely.
It is a game changer. But let's be honest, it takes a while, it takes time, but the moment you understand that, it's a game changer, right?
Yeah,
Look at where you are today.
I mean, it's great.
So the answer is yes, the short answer is 1,000,000%.
Well,
yes.
yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
1,000,000,000%. And strong, it makes you stronger, definitely. What lessons have you learned from failure or mistakes?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest here. So many. I'm gonna say so many. But for me, I think there's a couple that I've learned. So what have I learned from failure and mistakes? Firstly, when people have said, what are failures? I don't see failures as failures. I just see them as, it's very cliche. I see them as opportunity to grow.
Yeah.
But a few things have happened for me. What's happened is, over the many years I've experienced change and I've grown. There is no doubt that as a younger person I was much more selfish and self-centered.
Yeah.
And I think what you do learn as you go through things is that the moment you start to realize life is not about you, all right, and I'm talking about myself here, because since the age of 15 I've always had to justify my existence in everything I did. So I worked in commercial environment all the time, being in sales, so I was only ever as good as my last sales. But the first lesson I have is that true happiness comes from stopping to worry about yourself and focusing on helping others. And I mean genuinely, true happiness is about that. But the other thing I've learned is forgiveness. Okay, now we're all human.
Yeah.
We've all made mistakes. We're all flawed. And I tell you what, I have the most extraordinary partner in my life. My wife is just truly extraordinary.
Yeah.
And she has taught me how to become a kinder person.
Yeah.
I think I was nice. I think I was a nice person. Lots of people are nice. But kindness is a different thing. To explain the difference, imagine that you come across someone who's got a piece of lettuce in their teeth, and you might decide to do the nice thing, and you might say, actually, I don't want to embarrass them, typically British, I'm not going to say anything. So you don't say anything because you don't want to embarrass them, you're going to be nice. Yeah? Well, that's not good enough, because sometimes you have to do the kind things, and the kind thing is to go and tell someone what's going on.
You have to be cruel to be nice.
Well,
is that the saying? I don't know.
No, I'm not sure cruel is right. No, absolutely no. But the kind thing is you go and say something because you have that person's best interest at heart.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So one of the things I found, and one of the biggest lessons, is if you're kind, not just nice, and you have the person's best interest at heart, it will be a game changer. Because you will grow trust, you will learn how to do it with kindness, and kindness is transformational. So many businesses are very nice to each other.
Yeah.
They don't conflict, they don't want to, they think they're doing okay, but they use, they're very good at giving feedback, because a lot of people have never been trained to give proper feedback.
Yeah.
So we don't want to upset our colleagues because for many years we've worked with them.
Yeah.
So we are nice to each other, but we're not kind to each other.
No.
So we don't have the real conversation, because the moment we try, we start to point the finger. When we point the finger, we create a blame culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is one of the biggest lessons I've learned from mistakes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
How can people reframe setbacks as opportunities opportunities to grow?
Yeah, I think we talked a little bit about that, haven't I?
Yeah,
so we are our stories. So you have choices. Am I a victim, or actually, can I change my mindset?
Yeah.
To actually impact and learn from that. And I'll use a phrase which I coined quite a lot in business. So as managers, I work a lot in leadership, as you know, Jack.
Yeah.
And one of the things I talk about is something which is, imagine if as a manager every quarter or every month, in fact every month, you sat down with your team. Every month might be a bit too much, and you just sat down and you say, by the way, Jack, I'm your boss, we're working together, here's how we're working.
Yeah.
And you might look at me the first time and you might go, I haven't got a clue what you just said there, Freddie. and you turn around and I say, no, I get that, but so you might say, well, what do you mean? I say, well, actually, as you boss, do you get from me what you need every day to be successful in your job?
Oh, okay.
And then you might go, oh. And then you have a choice. You might say, shall I be honest? And I say, of course you can be honest. And you say, well, what I like, boss, is you always support me when I need something, but you're never available. You're always in meetings, and sometimes I don't see you, or you give me half the information and expect me to solve a problem.
Yeah.
So imagine if we did that. Imagine if we, if we actually help reframe all the conversation that way.
Yeah.
So something goes wrong, rather than looking at you and say, well, let's debrief. Let's understand where we didn't go right.
Yeah.
Rather than me going, actually, did you get from me what you needed to be successful? Yeah?
Yeah.
And that then aligns to the thing I was telling you about. How do we learn to be kind rather than just to be nice?
You actually, so again, this one has letters in their teeth instead of going, I don't want to embarrass
Yeah.
you. Let them know to say,
Or
I'm
blame.
really sorry because I get your mouth maybe.
Yeah. Or blame.
Yeah, you don't blame, you don't start a blame culture.
Yeah.
I mean, that blame culture is quite more common nowadays.
Yeah.
Because of all social media and whatever.
But yeah, absolutely. Or victim.
Yeah.
Somebody says, oh, it's somebody else's fault. Somebody has got more money. But the problem and I'm not going to get into that because it's probably not the right time. But we have a world where the media focuses on the 2% of what's wrong with the world rather than focusing on the 98% of what's brilliant about the world.
Yeah, exactly.
And there are so many brilliant feelings about the world.
There are.
So therefore, we become indoctrinated by thoughts which are unhelpful.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be that way.
Definitely. What are some simple things people can do to build resilience every day?
Yeah, so I mean we talked about diet, sleep, exercise, absolutely. Invest in your network, take your friends out for dinner, cook for them, actually encourage Stephen to take the team out on a Friday night and spend the profit on cakes. I'm joking, but of course, but even if you have little coffee gathering, together and chat, no agenda, how's everyone doing? I always start some of my meeting by saying, hey guys, firstly before we get into anything, how are you?
Yeah, no, that's a great way.
Yeah, we do the check-in, which is, amazing.
Yeah.
That's some of the things, yeah.
No, I definitely agree. I think I should be the boss of Snap. How can someone stay motivated when they feel knocked back?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
What would you do, Jack? How do you stay motivated?
It took me a long while to think of this, but if it's something you love, you've got to keep going.
Yes.
You've got to think about what you're getting out of it. I mean, I come here, I get out meeting brilliant people like you. I've met a few lovely people like you yourself, and I'll be coming for a coffee.
And there you are.
If you really love it, you stick at it and you keep going. I mean, I love this place.
Yeah.
I know there's been sometimes I've had blips, but everyone has blips. But at the end of the day, I'm still.
So how do you stay motivated? You learn, you grow.
Think of all the positives around you.
Yeah, you focus on the positive, you focus on what's in control, you set yourself small target.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I love this phrase. I couldn't say it anymore. I think I've said it about 100 times now. Okay. How can we support teammates who are struggling?
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? How do we support teammates that are struggling? And I'm going to use this example of my son.
Yeah.
They've got a friend who is struggling at the moment, really, really struggling. And do you know what? I was so impressed with what they did. They knew their friend was struggling. The three of them went round his house. He wouldn't answer the door at all. They knocked the bloody thing down. Excuse my robustness, but they did. They knocked the door down. They found him on a coach. They put their arm around that person. They absolutely showered him with love. Now, of course, they couldn't fix everything.
No.
Of course not. Yeah. But what they did was they said categorically, we are here for you, and they meant it in everything. They cooked for him, they stayed with him, they encouraged him to go and have therapy. They made a commitment. So how you encourage someone? You listen.
Yeah.
Firstly, you notice and you don't walk past it. I don't know if you've ever heard this, how are you? And somebody goes, yeah, I'm good. But then you notice something a bit different on you.
Yeah.
And then you walk back and you go, hey Jack, how are you really?
Yeah.
So you ask not once and you ignore the response. You develop your emotional intelligence, your empathy, you really listen and you observe. Not just by listening to what people are saying, but the body language that they're using.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been days where I'll be honest how I am, and I am having a bad day, and I'll say, yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah,
that's because I don't want to be a burden to that person.
Yeah.
But really, speaking is the most powerful thing that's been created by God. God. Speaking is amazing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's transformational. So, had you help someone? Go on walks. I found walking therapy to be extraordinary. I mean, when my wife was, struggling with, when she had cancer, she's a very private person, and she was extraordinarily strong. No, I didn't have anyone, so and I'm a talker. You probably notice I like to talk. Even Stephen will tell you I like to talk. But the truth was, I then had a football accident. I was playing football and somebody did my ACL. I was tackled and had my ACL. So I was in rehab for a year. And I was never really a walker, but my wife and I walked together for the first time, properly walking, the proper walk.
Yeah.
Two things happened. We started to talk a lot more about things which were difficult. But the second thing, which was extraordinary, is we fell in love with walking, and since then we've done amazing walks. We've done the Cleveland Way. We've been this year we're going to the Fisherman Trail in Portugal. So we do proper trekking walks. So not only has it been good for us, it's completely changed our lives and our habits as well. So yes,
that's really good. I mean, that's a powerful. That's someone just to listen, either to your wife, your son, your neighbour. It's such a powerful thing to have someone to listen to you and you to listen to them.
You do, but also, do you know the other thing? We talked a little bit about how do you change the resilience and all that. So, more than one thing happened when that happened. So I love. Football, we talked about that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the values of football, but I love playing football. Okay, so I went from playing football to then I did five-a-side because I was getting on a bit.
Yeah.
But the point is, when I had my ACL, two extraordinary things happened. So I took up walking with my wife, and it was brilliant. And the other thing, and then as a result of that, we were able to do some other thing. But the other thing is, this is gonna impress you, Jack. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
So I couldn't play football anymore. I decided, that was it. My football career was over. So do you know what I did?
Well,
I joined a band, and I've been in a band for 15 years, and I play guitar in a band, and therefore, look at that. Through adversity, I got a new hobby, and I've been in a band for 15 years, and I love it. I made new friends, and we entertain people.
You still in the band?
Yeah, still in the band. Still
going strong. You might as well get a performance down at SNAP.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we love it. We've got No, we got something for another charity, but yeah, we can talk. We can talk.
We've got many events coming up, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Gala dinners or something.
Yeah, definitely. But yes, so out of that, if you really choose a good positive mindset, amazing things can happen.
Exactly that. Yeah. Okay. What advice would you give to learners building confidence and preparing for work?
Now that's a tough question. What advice would I give? So, I think working together. So one of the things I think is, so I can quite truly believe that you're an inspiration here. But at the same time, I also believe there are many people here with learning challenges who are also truly inspirational. You talked about the artists, for example.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've loved every time I come to Snap is the friendliness of the learners. They are just so genuinely passionate, and they are in your face a little bit, and they come and say, I mean, look what happened before we set this up. People were coming to wave and saying hello, loving visitors. Yeah. So the learning before work is your learning. What have you learned? What have you experienced, and how can you share that with your colleagues and your teams and the learners here?
Yeah.
How can you build their confidence? Because I'm sure sometimes it's a bit daunting, isn't it? You're doing something new. It's about being kind again. I go back to the kindness and say, this is going to be okay, but this is going to be hard. So being honest in that.
Yeah.
And what would be your advice?
My advice would be, just believe in yourself. A lot of people might not believe. Just believe, and if you believe, you'll achieve. I mean, there's so many wonderful people here, and if they just had the right guidance, like I luckily had, they would be absolutely smash out the park, and I think they'll get a lot out of it. There's a lot of programs we've got at the moment where, obviously I know most of the learners here, because I'm here most of the days, and they're smashing it. Yeah. And I've seen the sort of glow up thing in them, where they can believe in themselves now, which is amazing.
Yeah. And find the right partnership. I think that's going to be important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Preparing it. Find the right partnership for the right learner, so they don't feel they're striding. So they need to be pushed in the way that helps them to grow, build their confidence. But be gentle in the way you're doing. Really find the right opportunity for people.
Don't sprint before you can walk.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Okay. How can resilience help people succeed in both work and life?
Well, the only thing I can think of here is that it's not just about resilience. It's about kindness.
Yeah.
To be kind.
We used to start getting you doing quotes for Snap, I think, get it framed on the walls.
Well, I mean, COVID was a big moment for many people.
Yeah.
And COVID was a moment for me where I had time to think about my life and the next bit of my life. So, I'm going to be 63 this year. I know it's hard to believe, I know.
Happy birthday.
Yes, thank you. But during that time, I was thinking about my own personal values. And I kind of reframed it, and I'm saying, I start with kindness always, humanity, because we are all human, so I come on the basis that I never judge anyone at all, because who am I? I'm flawed, I make mistakes, and I probably will continue to make mistakes, so therefore when I come across a human being, I'll take them at face value, and cherish their stories, good and bad, because everybody can change. But the other thing I'll talk about is fun. Jack, we need to have fun in the world.
Definitely.
We're going to make sure that you come to work. Short. Absolutely, life is long and short at the same time. But we've got to find. There's a great quote I've heard, years ago. If you want to thrive in life, find something you love doing and just excel at it. Yeah. Find something you love doing and excel at it, and you can't go wrong. No. And look at me, I've been living my purpose for the last few years. I love it.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think a lot of people need to hear from you, because you are doing a brilliant thing. I mean, I just met you, and I feel like most of the learners will probably ask you every day to the cafe.
Well, if I get free coffee, you never know, I can come in and and help.
So are you a boss of where you work?
Yes, it's my company.
You could always bring your people from your company into the cafe.
Who knows? Yes, absolutely.
Do you guys do a volunteering day?
We have done so, but I've got a small team, and Stephen might tell you, but actually I am stepping away from the business now and actually just to try and do motivational speaking, to do more motivational speaking. So I'm learning to be a motivational speaker at the moment.
Well, I might need some tips.
I was going to come to you to give me some tips.
You get a TikTok page running like motivational speaking.
Who knows? Who knows?
I will hold to Steve again, because I do want to go to sports schools that may have disabilities, or any sort of schools. You're talking about Snap.
Brilliant. And I think you should.
Snap's just top.
Yes. Well, you're definitely the right ambassador
You
for
know, I
that.
can dress up
And
smart when it comes to it. I know I'm not very smart, I've got jeans on, that's what counts.
You know, you have to be yourself. And that's absolutely cool.
Exactly. The next question is, what message of hope or encouragement would you give someone going through change right now?
I think for me, the simple message I can give of encouragement is it might feel that you are on your own, and it might feel that you might be the only one going through what you're going through at the moment, but I can assure you that's definitely not the case. Definitely. And I think one of the things I talk about is when change feels hard, is because it is changing us, and it is changing us, and it's preparing us for the future.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and I really truly believe that. So the first thing to say is be kind to yourself, embrace it as much as you can. Even when you're really scared, that's okay. It's okay, because it won't stay like this. And the other thing I will say is talk to your trusted group, your network. Open yourself up, because you know, staying in your own fear is not going to change anything. Absolutely not. That's not going to change you. If you stay in your own fear, nothing will change. Whereas if you open up, even when that feels really scary, and you just go to someone and say, "Can I talk to you about something?"
Yeah.
Share how you feel. Share your emotion. And I promise you, what you'll find is going to be extraordinary. You will find that most people will have gone through something similar. You will find that you're not alone, and what will happen is you might actually even grow and become a better person as a result of that. So when I decided to solve my panic attack, when I was 34, the first thing I did is I looked at my wife and I said, "I am so sorry for another night of difficult conversations.
Yeah.
I am going to cure myself." Because of course when you got panic attack, what you're scared about is talking about panic attack, because that makes you panicky.
Yeah.
But I changed that. I decided to become courageous. I decided that I could only change it if I started to deal with the problem. And you know what, Jack? Within 12 months, I was cured, and I've never had a panic attack.
I think you deserve another handshake, because that is amazing.
Thank you.
And people listening, well, I'd like to say, Freddie, thanks for coming in today.
You're very welcome.
Sharing your very inspirational story.
Thank you.
And your wife's a lucky lady.
Well, no, actually,
you're a lucky man.
I'm a very lucky man.
So thanks for having you on today.
Yeah,
it's been a pleasure, and hopefully see you soon again.
Yes, thank you for asking me. Cheers. See you, everybody.
This is MK Snap.